you allowed to talk about Magic the Gathering?
Yeah.
It's been announced, right?
It's been announced, yes. Yes.
Why animation?
Well, that's I love animation. I mean, I grew up with, it's not an anime. It's a big, giant, expensive CGI wonderfest. It's but I grew up, I love animation. And specifically when Magic the Gathering, which has all these different worlds and planes of existence to travel, you kind of need animation to do it because it's prohibitively expensive to do it in a television series unless someone's committed hundreds of millions of dollars to it. So it's the right, it's definitely, I think, the right way to bring it to television, I think, at least to start. Because it's a tough one to crack.
Well, but how did you crack it? Because like we've talked about this in the sense that I had no idea what Magic the Gathering was. I only knew what it was because of all the dice at conventions and like, you know,
cards.
I've been in that world.
Cards.
They're cards. But aren't they dice too? Or is it Dungeons and Dragons?
There are
dice.
Dungeons and Dragons is mostly the die. Yeah.
Yes. But the
cards are the ones, the decks, and they're laying it out on the mats and fighting each other and
fighting each other. I'm figuring this out. How did you decide the point of view of the story?
Well, that was the when they first called me, I was like, I'm not sure. I had the last time I had played Magic, I had a bunch of friends who were really, really into it. And I was like, I would say it's like 1999.
Oh gosh.
And it's actually a very complex game of strategy with endless possibilities in which you could do the thing. And it's one of those things that if you're going to do it, you have to your brain has to almost be addicted to it and understand the strategy, and then you start to want more decks and things like that. So it's for smart people. There are legions of fans even in Los Angeles that play it, but they are really smart people who are into the game. And there's an infinite amount of decks and an infinite amount of characters and mythology and whatnot. I went away and consumed far too much of it. At one point, I was like, I don't know. You could start here, you could start here. And then there was one specific character, an image. There's a character named Chandra who is a pyromancer, whose backstory, I started to kind of fall in love with let's just pick one point of view and then expand and bring in one by one all these other characters. But because there's so many different kinds. And how do you tell a story that is going to talking about fans, like fully immerse the fans into the worlds they want to be in and see the things that make them feel seen and what they love about it, but also how to get people like, hey, Mom, let me show you this story that that was the tough one. And then it started to just really fall into place. And it's also, Hasbro is involved as well. It's not just Netflix has been wonderful and Hasbro's been wonderful. And then Wizards of the Coast, which also has Dungeons and Dragons, are protective of an IP. And so I'm like, I need all of you to like what we're doing. But join hands and say, this is the story we're telling, because sometimes you can see an IP and you're like, oh, you could tell this got noted to death and they didn't want to do this and they wanted to do this. This has been an incredible experience where everybody has been on the same page and collaborative in a really wonderful way. And it can so easily not be. with that much.
What's your involvement moving forward with it? Because my dog just pooped in here. That's good.
Just decided.
Yeah, well, it's snowy. He doesn't want to go outside. And I'm glad he went in to let me know where he did it.
I think it's because your dog, I think he knew I was on. And if there's one guest that deserved it.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm going to handle that later.
Do you want to go handle it now?
No, it's fine. It's not going to get worse. What?
Please let that be the short clip that you show as the preview.
It's not going to get worse.
My dog just pooped in here. That's the one I want.
What is your involvement with the day-to-day on Magic the Gathering? Because you're obviously super busy in London.
But they announced it. I've been working on it for a long time. What are we, 2025 now? No, 24.
Yeah.
Since before the writer's strike.
Oh, wow.
And so they were all written. And now it's that one. I mean, animation just takes so long to do. So now we're just starting to really cast and hear it and do animatics. But I mean, it takes a bit.
Yeah.
So it's at a time when it's like character designs and things that can come through on email, and it's just been it's a nice little surprise when I get to do it again. You're like, oh my God, look at this! It's that thing we wrote a year and a half ago, and it's done. So it's quite wonderful. But I'm still very much involved. The other thing that's great about animation is you can record it and they do an animatic and you can watch it and go, that scene sucks. I got to rewrite that scene entirely. And then they call the actors back and they do a thing, and then you can fix a problem. The thing you cannot do in live action unless you have hundreds of millions of dollars to go back for major reshoots. You can that's just part of the process. So that's a delight.